on 1 second. Jeremy.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, what happened to the show? I said you guys were live.
We were. When Don was trying to leave, he ended up ending the stream.
Oh, jeez. Are you kidding me?
Nick's here.
What's up, Kate?
Oh my gosh, you look terrifying. Wow, that is a good costume.
I'm actually just waiting for my ride, so I'm going to be home real soon. So I just wanted to, because like I was watching the show, and then like I said, all of a sudden the show was like, it's kind of odd. Supposed to go.
Well, Don was just trying to see himself out, and he ended up.
He made the same mistake that I made, didn't he?
It's catching, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, leave it in Chicago. I don't want it anywhere near.
Poor Jeremy, you were devastated.
Oh, now at least
probably if I broken, I was crying, I was whining, I was.
Yeah.
You know what? Now, Don, I guess you can kind of say you can kind of now feel how Don felt when I accidentally did that with one of his shows.
Trust me, it's not the first time it's been done on me. So
yeah, Jeremy's like counting it all up. One day he's going to explode, and there'll be like no more StreamYard ever.
Yeah. Actually, we used to do the shows on Zoom before we started using StreamYard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. We stopped using it because for two reasons. One, it took a while for it to load up to do a live show. But secondly, you couldn't see comments on shows unless you were looking on your Facebook.
Nick, where are your eyes? I cannot see your eyes. Like, where are they?
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
It's so good. Oh my goodness. How long did it take you to?
Really didn't take that long. It only took, I think, about 10 minutes at most.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good though. Oh, did you have a nice time at your party?
I'm still at it, but I'm just kind of waiting for the ride. So,
Are you getting
I've still been having a good time.
Are you getting an Uber? Like the person in the car is going to be like, oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm basically going to be the Uber passenger you don't want picking up.
I'm sure by now he's probably used to picking up weird-looking people with it being Halloween.
Yeah, but can you imagine, like, especially after reading or watching a Stephen King novel, and then like Nick shows up, like for his ride, and you're like the Uber driver, and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? I would be terrified. I'd probably just drive off, to be honest. Sorry, Nick.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I mean, I'd scare the Uber driver before he even pulled up.
Be like, hell no, not getting paid enough for this.
Now that Nick is here, you can quiz him, and then when you get to where you got with me, you can quiz us both now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Are you ready for me to fire questions at you, Nick, about Stephen King?
Yeah, go ahead. I got a few minutes.
You sure? You tell us when you need to go, though, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. What was Stephen King's first published novel?
Oh, damn. It's been a while. I know it was sometime in the it was either in the late 60s or early 70s.
It was 1973.
Okay, so I was partially right. 1973 then, so early 70s.
And what was it?
I'm going to have to go with... Oh, God, I got a feeling I'm probably going to go wrong with this one. Let's go.
Fun.
Wait, what, Jeremy?
Nothing.
I'm going to have to go with Carrie, maybe?
Yeah. You're
my
correct.
God. I can't believe I just got it.
Yay. Oh, man, that was tense. Well done, Nick. Okay, why was King arrested at college or in college?
Wasn't it because he was? Because I know he did this in the late '60s, but wasn't he arrested at one point for like doing drugs or something like that? Like, no, it wasn't that.
Mm,
No.
Then again,
well,
Well, I guess an argument could be made for that, but
I mean,
now,
he was drunk and he was in college and
oh,
he
okay.
did something.
DUI or
So he actually stole traffic cones.
oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I actually didn't know that. I really didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah, Jeremy told us the whole story. It was really funny.
Yeah, right,
Good
Robert.
one, Robert.
what happened was he came home and there was a traffic cone in front of his house, and he ran over and it got stuck underneath it. So he grabbed it, and there was a whole bunch of them lined up down the road. I guess they were doing some kind of construction. So he went and picked up every one of them, and somehow he ended up getting arrested for it.
For stealing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they booked him, and he ended up using a check that he literally just got in the mail
Robert.
from a short story that he sold to a magazine, and used that to make his bail.
Robert makes a good point because Christine hates traffic cones.
That might be why he wrote Christine.
Yeah, probably just to prove a point. Okay, next question is who was King raised by?
Oh shoot. Oh my god. That one I haven't heard in a long time. Oh boy.
Was it his mum, his dad, his mum and dad, his grandparents, his brother?
I thought it was his dad that he was raised by.
So wrong. Sorry,
Oh.
Nick. It was his mum. Yeah, it was his mum. Yeah.
Okay.
And we were talking about the fact that maybe that's why so many male figures. Monty Petunia, Harry Potter, love it. Maybe that's why a lot of his male figures in like characters are quite dodgy and dark, and yeah, and the females are generally very strong women and overcome things. Yeah, maybe
Right.
we'll never know. Okay, what was his major in college?
It would have had to have been because, well, no, I wouldn't say necessarily it was film because I know he started with writing. So
I can give you two options. Was it English or was it psychology?
wasn't it psychology that he was doing?
Damn.
It was English.
It was English.
I should have known it was English. Most people usually go for English.
Yeah, and he was actually a high school teacher. He taught English in high school.
Really?
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Really cool. Okay, what was one of his first names when he published the book? Because it wasn't Stephen King. He went under another name.
Yeah, he went on another name. That was. Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, so his other name was. If I knew these questions were coming up, I should have practiced.
Don't worry.
Okay, this one I can't really remember, unfortunately.
Jeremy, do you want to say?
Well, it's actually sort of a trick question. He published a short story before. Well, he published many short stories before he finally sold Carrie. And one of those short stories he sold under the name of John Sweden. But later, after he sold his first book, he started selling a series of books under the name of Richard Bachman.
Oh, Richard Bachman. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know who this Facebook user is. Yeah, he had 3.
Yeah, he had 3. Yeah, and then one of it was his grandfather, right? Gil somebody. I've forgotten now. But yeah, I'm sure it was his grandfather's name. And they said, oh no, it's too old-fashioned.
No, it wasn't old fashioned. It was because somebody found it out before he was even able to start it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm looking for it now.
Guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
No worries, Nick.
I gotta get off here real shortly. I'll be back. I'll be back real quick.
See you soon.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna end the show like Don did, or I almost did earlier.
He
Yeah,
sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back real soon. Oh my god, Nick is so
Again, saying,
terrifying.
I'll be back is a good way to get yourself killed in a horror movie.
I'll be back.
Jeremy.
He did it right.
Yay! Didn't end.
I'm actually looking for what that original name was.
I want to stretch your brain though, Jeremy, because Richard Bachman, how many novels did he publish under that name?
Well, he posted 5 before posted. He published 5 before he was found out,
Mm,
and he put out 2 more since then.
you're correct. It was 7. Well done. Oh my gosh, you need to go on Mastermind. Is that still going, that game show?
What is it?
Mastermind? Oh, maybe it's a UK thing. It's
Wow.
like, oh, it's like a game show where you go and you answer like hundreds of trivia questions about your chosen topic and you just win money basically. But you should do Mastermind and you should do
Okay.
Stephen King. Yeah. I don't know if it's still going though.
An argument could be made for 8, because of the Bachman books collection with the first 4. Argument could be made for that to be as 8 there, but when you look at the individual novels, it's 7.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm going to move on with the questions. Do you know which book did King drop out of print? There's one that he... Yeah, do you know why?
Because of the school violence. Hi, Denise. Because of all the school shootings that was going around, there was one where one of the shooters actually specifically referenced to rage as one of the reasons for doing this particular school shooting.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good move because you just don't want to help promote that, do you, in any way, shape or form? So totally respect him for that. Definitely. Do you know what his longest book is?
It's either The Stand or It. And if you go by first publication, it'll be It. But then later on, he republished The Stand.
And I would say it's his longest book, full stop. So regardless of publishing, I would just say the longest book that he's written, full stop.
I think that one is... They're like within 20 pages of each other. I think it's The Stand.
It is The Stand. Well done. It's 1,152 pages.
And it is 1,138.
I have no idea, but I totally believe you because you are just so good at this stuff. Yeah, that's interesting.
When he first published The Stand, it was 830 some pages. The publishers wanted him to cut out 50,000 words.
Yeah, I did read that actually. Yeah, that's crazy.
So imagine how painful that had to have been.
Yeah, because that must be really hard going back on what you've written to take stuff out. Like that must be really hard. Really, really hard. What traumatic event did King witness, but he has no memory of it? This is when he was younger.
I remember reading about that. I think he put that in one of his books, actually.
Yeah, I remember reading about it, and I wasn't sure if it was real or if it was paranormal because he doesn't have any memory of it, but it did happen. Yeah, let's see.
Something to do with The Shining.
It was something to do with his friend. One of his friends tragically died. Yeah, apparently his friend got hit by a train and he was there to see it happen, but he has no memory of it.
The body. That's what it is. That's what he did with the body. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he came up with the premise of the body, not only being with it being so autobiographical on his end, but because of that boy. That's yep, that was in the body.
Yeah, it's so sad, isn't it?
Yep.
Really sad. Do you know what Stephen King is afraid of? There are 3 things that he has said in interviews that he's scared of.
The number 13.
Yeah.
He is afraid of losing his mind.
Yep.
Um,
And the last one is quite common. Most people are scared of it.
there's so. Let's see. I remember. Oh boy, what is that third one? Well, Chris is saying spiders.
Yeah, it is spiders. Nice one, Chris. Yeah, apparently he's not very fond of spiders.
Neither am I.
No,
But
definitely not.
Can be said for snakes and.
Yeah, I don't mind snakes actually. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what it is about snakes. I think it's spiders. Like they just have so many legs. It's not natural. Spiders have snakes have no
snakes
legs.
got none, and they still move.
Yeah, I guess it depends what kind of snake it is. Like if it's a rattlesnake or whatever, then yeah, that's pretty terrifying. But
Which,
yeah.
by the way, is the name of a new novella that he wrote called Rattlesnakes.
Oh.
I think it is going to end up in this new collection that he's releasing next year called You Like It Darker.
Oh.
Rattlesnake is supposed to be somewhat of a sequel to Cujo.
No way. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Okay. That's good. Just about the number 13 thing, did you know that he will never stop writing on page 13 and any multiple of 13?
Yep.
I was like, what? That must take him ages to work that out.
But yeah, if you look at some of his work, you know how he does that little sub chapters. Chapter 1, this,
Yeah.
and 1, and then so many paragraphs, and then 2, so many paragraphs. There's been several of those where one of those ends in a 13. And also, if you look at the Regulators, it has 13 chapters.
No.
Yeah.
How did that happen though?
I don't know how that happens.
Is that the publisher's fault, do you reckon?
No, he's the one that sets the chapters. He's the one that's.
Maybe he's like conquering his fears.
Yeah. I'm going back to it now because I know this thing is 13 chapters. Yeah. Chapter 13. And that is on page 457. And the Regulators, Well, it actually stops numbered at 466, but then there's a few pages right behind it where it is a letter on a stationary note. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 9 pages after that.
Right. Is that quite a new book? I wonder if it was a fear, but now he's got over it, or
Oh no, he's still very afraid of 13. And
Hmm.
what's so cool about the Regulators is that this is one of his Richard Bachman books, and he released this the same day as he did Desperation.
Right.
When you put the two together,
That's so cool.
yeah,
Oh, that's amazing.
And-
That's a really good addition.
it is. And he wrote Desperation first. He
Mm,
And the day that he stopped writing Desperation, he started writing the Regulators the day after.
right. That's incredible. Wow. Okay, so who blocked Stephen King from following him on Twitter in 2017? Somebody blocked him.
Oh, the only one that I can think of would be Donald Trump.
Yes. And he doesn't know why. Yeah.
He mentioned that in one of the talk shows that he was on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stephen Colbert's, I think.
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just really funny. It's just like he had no idea why, just blocked him.
Really quick, we have a viewer from Canada in Saskatchewan.
Oh, hi.
Uh,
Wow.
I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And I'm from Norwich in the UK, but I'm in Chicago at the moment. So yeah, nice to meet you. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I've never been to Canada, but I've heard really good things about Canada.
I've been to Niagara Falls a couple times. That's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to go one day. I'd like to do a little tour. It's a big country, like the States, I'm sure. Like little UK, which is like tiny in comparison. But yeah, nice. Okay. Next question. Which of King's family is not a writer?
They all are. Technically, they all are, but the only one who is not actually published is Naomi.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
His
but
daughter. Yeah.
she actually is a writer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Awesome. How did King narrowly escape death in 1999? Something happened to him.
He was hit by a van,
Yeah.
thrown so many feet. He ended up buying that van.
Did he? I didn't know that.
He bought that van and had it destroyed about a year later, I think.
Wow. That's power. That's a power move, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was suggested that he buy somebody from trying to sell the van for a huge profit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it?
So he bought the van, had it destroyed, and put that entire scenario in Kingdom Hospital.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know. Yep, Jeremy the mastermind. You're doing so well, Jeremy. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, I only missed one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was only a random one.
And
So-
know that not where Christine came from, because Christine was written in the early 80s. And Christine came from something that he thought, wouldn't it be funny if I had a car that just repaired itself and then it just went from there?
Interesting. I haven't heard much about Christine, so I have to look into that one a bit more.
Yep.
Read the book.
That's where Christine came from. His thought of a car being able to repair any damages itself instead of somebody else working on it.
Yeah, that's cool. That would be very useful, but also terrifying at the same time.
It would, but oh man, it'd save so much money.
It would, even though they would probably be really, really expensive to buy in the first place. Probably like, yeah. Anyway.
What kind of car you got?
Yeah. So, what did Dreamcatcher, the Tommyknockers, and Under the Dome have in common? There's a theme. Yeah.
Aliens.
Yes. Well done. Aliens.
And actually, I'd like to add to that. The
Yeah.
time here was a pivotal point for him because
Right.
the Tommyknockers was basically the end of an era for him. It
Yeah.
was the last-
Can I ask, is it about mining, Tommyknockers? Because that's what they used to call the miners that were mining.
that was desperation.
Oh, that was just. Oh, okay, right. I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
That was desperation. This one here was about a spaceship that had crashed into the Earth and was, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of years it stayed there. But this is the last book that he published under his cocaine and alcohol addiction.
Oh, okay.
Right after this was published, where his family had an intervention with him
Right.
and basically told him, you need to clean up or we are gone.
Right.
And I actually like this book, but a lot of people are saying that it's just way too weird. And the movie itself is really weird too.
Oh, I didn't know there was a movie. Okay.
Well, it's a TV miniseries.
Right. Okay.
It's weird as hell. But
Nice. The Tommyknockers. Okay.
it was after this book where you start really noticing a change in his writing, with the exception of Regulators and Desperation. Those two are out there too. But you see a bit of like a calming down in his writing.
Right. Do you think he improved when he calmed down? Or is it just different?
It's different. I guess it would depend on what your taste is when it comes to reading. I just enjoy reading all of this stuff.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
A lot of what he wrote is very some people would say it rambling. I would call it New England style of storytelling.
Right. Yeah. Descriptive.
Yeah, extremely descriptive and added in so many other things that probably wouldn't have to be in the book for you to get the point, but it also gives you the idea where the character is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's more of a backstory.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And you still get that with stories like Miss and Mercedes and Dr. Sleep. You still get that backstory. It's just not quite to the extent of how it was back in the old days.
Yeah.
And people have complained about that his storytelling is not as good. And I disagree. I say it's still as good. It's just that as he gets older and goes through more life experiences, everything changes, even his own writing.
Yeah, I mean, it's only natural, isn't it, that you develop
Yes.
and yeah, he's probably just trying out different. I mean, it must be so hard to come up with these stories in the first place, and at some point you must feel a certain fatigue to dig so far back into every single character and give them a backstory. So I think at some point he just wants to enjoy the story and not get too backlogged with like their whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, so,
I do. And
yeah,
he is able to spit out book after book after book after book
yeah.
in the manner that he does is just amazing. And he has actually talked specifically about rose matter and insomnia because one was right after the other.
Mm.
And he
Oh,
called these two books as trying too hard.
who's this?
Oh,
Who are you? Hi,
Yeah.
Rick.
Who am I? Who are you?
where you at now?
I'm still at the same place. Party's pretty much over, and I got the Uber, but unfortunately, I got to wait about 16 minutes before it shows up. So I thought I'd just,
16, like
Yeah.
1-6. Oh,
Yep.
that's not too bad. I thought you were going to say like 60.
Yeah, I might as well just come on here while I'm waiting.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Nick. I still can't get over like your costume. It's so good. It's so scary. Like, is this Uber guy gonna be okay?
I wonder that too.
Did you like warn him like FYI I'm in a costume?
No, I didn't
like
do that.
um,
Not one word.
Tell anybody anything.
oh, look at your
Arthur-
fingers. Look at his fingers. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
So what have I missed as far as Stephen King goes?
Oh, she was continue quizzing me. I actually got one wrong.
You did?
I did.
Jeremy got one wrong.
Was it wrong though, or did you just kind of forget? I don't remember now.
Well, the thing is, there's been so many things that's happened to him, and he put it all, and he put everything in the book, and
Mm,
even that thing about the train, I knew he had seen a friend of his get hit by the train, and that's where the body came from, but I actually forgot about the part that he didn't remember it.
yeah, that's interesting.
So-
Yeah.
So he remembers it happening. He just doesn't remember seeing it happen.
Talking about memory, right? So one of the questions is, which novel does King have very, very little memory of him writing it because of cocaine and all that stuff? Yeah, it is Cujo. And I thought that's so
I was going to say, I
sad.
think it was Cujo.
He doesn't remember any of it.
No, that's terrible. Damn.
Yeah,
Have you read it? Is it just chaos?
I've read it, and you actually feel sorry for the dog.
Oh.
Well, I mean, considering he was infected with rabies to begin with.
Well, it's the thing is, in a lot of his in all of his books, there are certain spots where he changes point of view from character to character, and in Cujo, he did that with the dog. So he's telling the story as if the dog's the one who's telling the story, and you can tell, oh, he's a good boy, he's a good boy, and then later on is like something is wrong here, and then it's all hell breaks loose, and you feel sorry for that dog. It is literally as if you are watching a family member going through the onset of schizophrenia and dementia to the point where, okay, they're totally gone. It's the exact same way of reading Cujo, how Cujo is from the very beginning, and it just keeps progressively getting worse.
And isn't that one of his greatest fears, right? Was losing his mind. And he's terrified about getting Alzheimer's, dementia, all of that. So he's literally pouring out his worst fear into this book. And that must be, maybe that's why I can't even remember it as well. Like, not only the cocaine and all the other drugs he was on, but probably just because he just wanted to block it out as well.
It could be.
Because it's like
And
his
in
worst fear.
reference with the Harry Potter that Chris had referenced earlier, it pouring everything into the book to the point where he doesn't even remember writing could be very much like how some of the wizards would take a piece of memory out of their mind and put it in a
Yeah.
little pen seed.
Yeah. That's a really good description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. I still can't believe that's Nick. Like every so often I like just look at Jeremy, then look at Nick, and I just like just forget it's you. It's such a good costume.
I don't tolerate costumes very well.
Really? Are you
Yeah.
not into the whole cosplay costume scene?
Not really. Now, in the first season of 13th Dimension, we did do a Halloween. We did
thank
do a
you.
Halloween episode,
Appreciate it.
and I did dress up as Michael Myers. I had the whole get up and everything.
Fingers.
We had someone dressed up as Michael Myers over here. He already left. I would have brought him on if I wanted to, but he already left.
Oh,
I
that would
would
have been
hate to see
scary.
how you clip your nails, Nick. I would hate to see that.
No, I got an Uber on the way.
Oh,
How much longer?
you should have
Just
told me. I'm
Another
sorry.
couple minutes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I could drive you home.
I'm good. I really appreciate that.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Tell your mom. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm on a podcast right now.
What else would it be?
You're good. You're fine.
But yeah, I think a lot of these books that he does is a realization of some form of fear that he has. And if you think about it, one guy actually used this description when he put out Night Shift, his first short story collection, that he was basically checking off the boxes of different fears that everybody has. And a lot of his novels are the same way.
Yeah.
It, for example, even though he used that as the troll under the bridge, I see that as the fear of clowns.
Yeah.
So it's not fear of vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He like delves into people's fears, doesn't he? Which is what makes him so successful at the same time, because I feel like people like to get scared, don't they? They like to come face to face with fears, and
It's like his trademark, essentially.
Totally. Yeah. It's like the Pandora's box of just hell that he just writes about.
That's actually what I've been doing with my stories. I'm trying to dive into certain things that I don't read.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm still going to be your editor, right, Jeremy? I've got first dibs on being your editor.
That's new. I haven't heard about this before.
Yeah, I'm studying editing at the moment. So,
Yeah,
Is that right?
like proofreading and editing. Yeah.
Well, if you want some of my short stories, I can send you that.
Yes, please. That would be amazing. Yeah.
It is one I would like to get your thought of, because you seem to be extremely interested in how somebody is able, like with Rose Matter, how he is writing from the perspective of the abused, and then all of a sudden he is writing from the perspective of the abuser.
Yes, that's very powerful writing, isn't it? Yeah.
And then, like I was talking about with Cujo, how he is writing from the perspective of the dog.
Yeah.
So I actually did that. I actually wrote a short story that is from the perspective of a dog. And it is, well, this one is an extremely sad one because this dog it's actually getting ready to be put down.
Oh my
And
gosh.
him telling this story from his perspective of that last day because he does not understand what's going on.
Is this going to traumatize me?
You know, that depends on how easily traumatized you get.
We'll talk about it.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know what I've let myself in for now. Yes, I'll read one of your short stories, Jeremy, and I'll just have nightmares for the rest of my life. But
That's the whole point of why I'm writing these stories. I want to give you nightmares, just like
True. All right, I've got 5 questions left, and these are the most difficult 5. And then I think I might have
Oh, man.
to pop off. So the first one is King appeared as what character in his cameo in The Shining? So he was actually in The Shining, but who was he? What was his character?
his character's name.
See, I thought you were gonna.
Huh?
No, I was gonna say. See, I thought you were gonna bring up a different movie because I've seen a number of other films where he's made cameos. I thought it was gonna make this one an easy one, but apparently not.
Oh, it's The Shining.
He's cameoed in about 20 of them, I think. But The Shining, so this one here is actually the TV miniseries. He was not in the actual theatrical film. And
Oh.
the name of this one is Gage Creed, which is actually the name of the little boy that dies in Pet Cemetery.
Oh yeah.
And he is
That's
their
right.
band leader.
Yeah, he's the conductor of the ballroom orchestra, it says. Yeah.
And that's the TV miniseries, not
Right.
the Jack Nicholson version.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Also, well done, Jeremy. Okay. Question 2 is what was the name of the super flu virus in
Captain
Yes,
Trips.
Yeah. Well done.
Don't forget, we actually mentioned, or Don actually mentioned that earlier in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, that's true. Which book was published in 6 installments?
Oh, that would be.
Wait, what was the question?
Which book was published in 6 installments?
Oh, it's installments.
See, I got it.
I feel like I know.
I'm going to wait until
Got it?
And then well, I have it. I'll show you what it is. I'm not going to say what it is. I want to see if you can answer.
All right, I give up.
It is The Green Mile.
Oh, Green
Well done,
Mile.
Terry.
Damn it.
Nice. I actually only have one more question because the other one was about Pet Cemetery, and we already got that because it was the name of the boy. So yeah. So the last question is: in The Mist, what store are they trapped in?
The name of
It
the
was a
store?
supermarket.
What type of store is it?
Was it like a supermarket?
Oh, it's just a regular grocery store. The name of it?
No,
No, just like the type of store.
yeah. Oh,
No,
you might have to check this out for me, Jeremy, because I've got something completely different. I don't have a supermarket or a grocery store. I have something really different.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
so neither of us are correct.
it's a grocery store.
Yeah, you have to check for me, Jeremy, because I've got a shoe store, but I don't know if that's
Oh
right.
no,
A
It is
shoe
not a
store? No, it was not a shoe store.
So
No.
somebody got that wrong.
yeah,
Because
that's
I,
wrong.
'cause I was like, why would they
Yeah, I
be
kept.
stuck in
I
a
thought it
shoe
was. I was
store?
thinking it was. Yeah, I kept thinking for the longest time it was just a supermarket.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But a
Yeah.
shoe store? I didn't. I don't remember that.
No, and I was like, was there a difference between the film and the book, or like what? So
No, because in the what was that? Well, technically, The Mist is actually a novel, but it's presented as a novella.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
But it's got enough words in it where it's considered a novel.
Hmm.
Um, you go to the local supermarket for groceries, but it doesn't actually name it.
Oh, so it is a grocery store then. It's not a shoe store. That's really funny.
Yeah, I thought it was. That's what I thought it was. Oh, guys, I got to get off because the driver's almost here, but I'll be back on in just a few minutes.
No worries. Stay safe, Nick. Be safe.
So,
Don't scare the
Yeah, it's the
driver.
last time
All right.
I was gonna say this is the last time I got to get off, and once I come back on, it will be permanent. So we'll be back on real short.
No
Surely.
worries, Nick. You take care. Be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
I'm gonna have to
novella,
check
the
that
grocery
website.
store is that of Federal Foods Inc.,
Oh, Federal
Really?
Foods. Okay.
the food house.
Right. I mean, that's a good place to get stuck in.
Yeah, because in the book, he actually talks about, well, in the story, this is why I don't like how he does some of the stuff, because a lot of the novellas that he released,
Yeah.
Mist, The Langoliers, Sundog, Library Policeman, The Body.
Mm. Right.
All of those are enough to be their own individual book. But
Right.
because they're short books, he just put them all together in collections.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in The Mist, he actually talks about where they're grilling food for everybody that's stuck inside that supermarket.
I would be pretty annoyed if I was stuck inside a shoe shop. Like a grocery store. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Can
Whoever,
you imagine if you was trapped in a shoe shop? Like,
Yeah.
what would you do?
whoever got that from, that person did not do their homework.
No. That would be funny though. Could you imagine it though? They'd be like grilling their shoes, like making beef jerky from leather shoes.
Well, if you got a taste for that, then go for it. It's going to be me, though.
Or it would be like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind
Yeah,
of situation.
The name of the store, I definitely would not have gotten that one.
No, but honestly, Jeremy, you are totally a Stephen King buff. You know pretty much everything there is to know about him. So honestly, you need to go on some kind of game show or international championship of Stephen King or something. Like, you're so good at your knowledge.
Well, the thing is, if you start digging in deep in his books, I have read a lot of these things. This
Oh my goodness.
I've got right here, okay?
Do you have a bookcase just for Stephen King novels?
Yes and no. I've got 3 bookcases in the house, and
Right.
one of them is a big 10-foot store counter, and I've got
Oh,
all
wow.
the hardback books that I haven't read,
Right.
and in a couple of these, actually from here on up, these are the ones that I have not read.
Right.
Secret Windows, which is a nonfiction that's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. This is actually done during his time that he was injured from that band.
Oh.
Faithful, the one that he did with Stuart Onan, which is on baseball. And then there's The Green Mile. I have not read that yet.
No,
The Green
it's
Mile
It's
Thinner.
quite heavy. I've heard, like, I know Stephen King isn't light, but I have heard like the Green Mile is really like really heavy going.
A lot of his stuff really is.
Yeah,
And then I have
that's true.
another bookcase that's got nothing but paperbacks that I have not read.
Right.
There's a lot of authors that I have in paperbacks that I really want to dig into, so I'm going to be doing a lot of that next year. Right, this year I'm reading all Stephen King stuff,
Right.
and then I have, it's not a bookcase, but it is actually an entertainment center that I converted into a bookcase that's got all the books that I've read, and
Right.
one side is nothing but Stephen King.
Wow. When you mentioned the other authors that you're reading, what kind of books are you going to read like next year? Just to throw out what other things that you read.
One book that I'm planning on reading is Frankenstein, the Mary Shelley.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Reading that. And then there's a series that's out that just came out this year called Scareville by John Ward.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
I actually have him coming on Supernatural Talk in a couple weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll definitely tune in.
I bought his first 3 books, and I'm going to read those next year as well. I
Yeah.
will be reading a couple of Stephen King books. Don't know which ones yet. I'm also planning on reading a book called Schoolhouse by an author by the name of Lee Duigan, I think.
Oh, I've not heard of him.
So, okay, let's see if I can bring it up here. And I'm actually kind of suspicious about this one. This book right here.
Oh, okay.
So this is a late 1980s paperback that came out,
Right.
and I just kind of skimmed through it to see what's there, and the way that the chapters are done makes me think Stephen King.
Right. I see. So it could be like a wannabe Stephen King.
Unless it's him.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And I've actually looked up this guy's name, and what pops up is not this. It is
Right.
actually I think it's this one here. Damn, I can't scroll in, but it is a Christian fantasy writer. Let's see if I
Oh.
get some of his titles. Books. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I guess I can't click on it. So anyway, it's a fantasy writer.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder if he's got his 4th pen name then.
So I am wondering if maybe Schoolhouse here might be a Stephen King book.
That would be good. You have to read it, and you'll have to like.
This may actually be the first one I read next year.
Yeah, and you have to tell us if you think you're a bit sus if it is Stephen King or not.
Yeah, should find out for sure if it is. And then I have a Brad Meltzer book that I want to read next year called the Lincoln something. It's a nonfiction book.
Right.
Lincoln Conspiracy, I think it is. And I'm a big Brad Meltzer fan. He does political thrillers.
Okay.
So good. And what he does is that he alternates chapters. Like chapter 1 is today. Chapter 2 is 30 years ago.
Right.
And in all of those chapters are from that time, 30 years ago, and the every others are now. And the way that he weaves the story back and forth is that it's bringing everything to a head at the very end.
Right. Okay, that's interesting.
He is really good at that. I've
Yeah.
read 6 or 7 of his books.
Wow, that's what you read a lot, Jeremy. Like you must read, you said one every 2 weeks at least.
Well, my goal is to read 20 Stephen King books this year. I
Right.
am on 16.
That's
right
not bad. That's
now.
that's definitely good. That's
Uh,
amazing.
I am currently reading Revival.
And you
which-
haven't gone insane yet as well, which is a
No.
blessing.
This year I've read Pet Cemetery, Misery, Dolores Claiborne. That one was a good book, Dolores Claiborne, because
Mm,
it is totally in her dialect.
right.
And it is absolutely in Kathy Bates's voice.
Oh, no way.
It is. How he was able to pull that book off, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like she was made for the role.
She was.
Yeah,
He had to have been
Right.
thinking of her when he wrote this book.
yeah.
I don't see how anybody else.
Could have done it. Yeah, yeah. She's
Um,
phenomenal in it. She really is.
I've read Doctor Sleep. I've read The Outsider. I
Mm,
finished the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. I've read Mr. Mercedes years ago. And then I've
yeah.
read the other 2 books, Finders Keeper and End of Watch, back to back.
Mm,
And then Outsider comes right after that. And then because the Mercedes trilogy, along with The Outsider, have Holly in it.
oh, okay. So that's where Holly's come from then.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also read the novella collection, If It Bleeds, which one of those 4 has Holly in it.
right. I
Uh,
love how it's all intervened. It's
Every
really cool.
one of his stories is tied in somehow.
Yeah,
Every one of them. I read The Dark Half.
right.
That was really good. What else did I read? Oh, Joyland. That was a good one.
Okay.
That's one of his hard case books.
Yeah.
That one. Later, I read Fairy Tale. Duma Key. That was different.
I've heard that was a bit of a weird one. Yeah.
It it's like a diesel engine.
Mm,
Some of his later books have been like that. It's like a diesel engine. It takes a little while to rev up and get going,
yeah.
but once it get going, it does not stop.
Oh, that's a
how-
really good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, Duma Key
Yeah.
was just like that. It's 600 pages, and it takes you about 400 pages just to get anywhere.
Oh my gosh, that takes some motivation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, next year I'm going to be reading a bunch of different authors. I just decided to focus only on Stephen King this year because
Yeah.
he is the reason why, well, he's one of the main reasons why I am making stories of myself.
oh, and that's lovely. And it's good because, you can see how his books are, you're not going to forget because you've read so many in one year that you can see how everything's kind of linked and you can
Yeah.
see how his style's changed. And yeah, I think that's amazing. You could almost write a dissertation or something by the end of it, I'm sure, about his works. And
I have read many, many authors, and he is by far the best one. No, uh-oh.
oh, sorry.
There you
Yeah, he's the best one.
Yeah, there will never be another writer like him ever.
Yeah,
I have heard
I
that his
agree.
son Joe is like him, but I've only read his short story collection, and that
Mm.
was years ago, so I don't even remember it. So I'm planning on reading one of his, probably Nosferatu next year as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I'm really sorry, Jeremy, but I have to go because I'm on 1% battery. I haven't been paying attention, so I have to go
Well,
and plug my phone in.
I'm going to go ahead and end the show anyway.
Okay, I don't know if Nick's coming back, but hopefully he got home safe and sound and he didn't terrify the Uber driver. And hopefully it's all good. Hopefully he'll send us a message. And
Oh, I
yeah,
definitely see it, Nick getting in there. What the hell?
yeah, like.
I can definitely see that.
But I want to say thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's just confirmed that you're a Stephen King mastermind. And yeah, I look forward to the next show together. Sorry,
Yeah,
that would be
absolutely. And
lovely.
then we'll talk if you really want to do editing. I'd be glad to let you pick through some of my stuff.
100%, that would be great. Yeah, we just need to talk about how traumatizing, and then yes, you can give me a sample.
I'll give you some of the easier ones first.
Yeah, bit of light reading before you hit me with the traumatic stuff.
Yeah, that'll definitely. Yeah, I'll give you some of the easier ones first.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for those of you out there in the audience, definitely thank you so much for playing along.
Thank
Next
you.
week, 13th Dimension will be back on Friday, and I will have Robert Murphy on. I have him on every year. So
That's
um,
awesome.
we are going to be talking about his equipment building, which is something he started doing earlier this year. So I'm excited to see him showcase some of that stuff. Um, and then
Definitely.
on Supernatural Talk, we're going to have Kendall and Vera Welton. They are the masterminds behind a lot of the paranormal documentaries we've been seeing. Um, the House in Between 1 and 2, The Sleepless Unrest, and the just now released The Haunting Lodge. So gonna have them back on and talk about that.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Jeremy. You have a good evening.
You too, and everybody out there, have a good night.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.